Hello students, topic for today's lecture is Constitution and Discretionary Powers. As the President exercises power, being the head of the Union, the Governor discharges his responsibility being the head of the state. In order to get aid and advice, the Governor has a Council of Ministers with the Chief Minister at his head to exercise the functions as being provided by the Constitution of India. Though the name of the governor is carried out, but the real authority is exercised by the Council of Ministers. As under normal circumstances, it is the Council of Ministers that advises the governor, but however, the governor could use certain powers without the advice of the Council of Ministers. That means the governor, while vesting these powers, need not to be seek or is bound to accept the advice of his Council of Ministers, and these powers are the constitutional discretionary powers of the governor. About these powers, the Constitutional Assembly Chairman Dr. B.R. Ambedkar expressed that because the provincial governments are required to work in the subordination to the central government, and therefore the governor will reserve things in order to give the president the opportunity to see that the rules under which the provincial governments are supposed to act according to the constitution or in the subordination to the central government are being observed. These powers include appointing of chief ministers, like in case when there is not a clear majority, the governor exercises his discretionary power to appoint the chief minister. The governor could dismiss a ministry after it loses the support of the House using the discretionary power, or could advise the President to impose the emergency in a case when he realizes that the government cannot be carried on according to the Constitution. He has the power of reservation of a bill for the consideration of the President, though there are certain situations where the bill could be reserved, but still this is one discretionary power of the government. And also, the governor summons and dissolves the legislative assembly. There are some issues concerning the exercise of these powers that are, but despite of the pure intentions of the constitution makers, the usage of these discretionary powers has turned in a very different direction from that of a constitutional propriety, and it has become a source from which tensions have been created in the relations of the center and the state. The reason behind it is the scope of these powers as well as the factors related to the politics, and this position being misused is an issue that cannot be overlooked, and especially this happening when the ruling party is at the center. In a number of cases, these discretionary powers of the governor have clearly gone against the constitutionality mandated, Neutral said, considering the cases where the former bureaucrats or the politicians with a particular political ideology get the governor's chair by the government. With the issues concerned, there has been always been a dicey situation about the purview of the role of the governor when the parliament has been hung. Now we'll deal about the discretionary powers in the judicial review. Even though the governor's committee has laid down it as a governor's responsibility to make sure that the state administration does not break due to political instability being the cause, and the regular report must be sent about the state's political situation, but still imposing precedence rule in the state has been misused frequently by the central government, and the governor does not exhaust all the other remedies before taking a step in certain cases. It was recommended by Justice V. Chellai Commission in the year 2002 that the Article 356 must be used sparingly and as a remedy of the last resort after exhausting all the actions under Article 256, 257 and 355. I hope the lecture must be clear to you. Thank you.